Okay, so this is page 5 of my autobiography. I was just thinking it's kind of weird that, or it may seem kind of weird that I'm like, hi, and all happy and joyful, but that's where God's brought me. He's brought me so much joy in my heart through all of this. And that's why I'm sharing it, because He's there for each and every one of us. He can transform our lives into something so beautiful and joyful and just overwhelming with joy. So, anyways, okay, back to the dark part, as my daughter says. Okay, so towards the end of my junior high school year, going into my senior year, I was convinced that I would get back together with the love of my life, quote unquote, high school boyfriend that I had dated for 4 years off and on again. I even coaxed him to come to my sister's house while babysitting, where we kissed, and his girlfriend found out, so she broke it off. Yes, we were finally getting back together, so I thought, but that would never come to fruition. It was the first day of summer break. I had left early with my brother-in-law towards the Seattle coast. That was the summer I planned to live with my sister to babysit her boys while she worked. It wasn't until that evening that I heard our high school's name on the main channel news. I ran towards the room the television was in and asked what about our high school had made the mainstream news. My brother-in-law looked pale, very serious and wide-eyed as he said, "Julie, you don't want to know." His body shielded the TV from my view as he shook his head back and forth. I argued with him until he finally told me. He told me that our high school was desecrated by a handful of students and that one of them was my boyfriend, or my ex-boyfriend at that time. He continued to tell me that my boyfriend, the love of my life, the one who I scribbled his last name after my first on my peachy, yes, the one whom I thought I'd marry, committed suicide with a .22 shotgun after being part of the destruction. In 1987, this is what had made the prime news channels, and that's how I found out. The evening news of my boyfriend's suicide shocked me. At first, I didn't believe it, but I rushed home to find it all to be true. It sent me into a further downward, drunken, pot-smoking spiral. It just hurt too much to be in my own head and body. It was much easier to numbly float above it, denying all truth and feelings. Sorry, I gotta scroll down. That summer was so depressing. I spent a lot of time just driving around. When I say driving, I really mean speeding recklessly around, and mostly up in the hills on one-lane dirt roads. I could have cared less whether I lived or died. In fact, I specifically remember letting go of the wheel on several occasions, once while on a steep cliff-like roadside. I made a conscious decision to see where the car would drive me and let go with both hands of the steering wheel as it was veering off the road towards a steep, slanted roadside. That's when I literally saw the wheel turn a hard left, as if someone was staring at it. Without my doing, my car turned away from the cliffside and squarely back on my side of the road. I know it was my guardian angel working overtime. On another occasion, I was speeding down a one-lane dirt road when I hit a 90-degree turn with a steep ravine and a huge tree waiting to be hit once I missed the corner. Miraculously, I cranked the steering wheel left and brodied around the corner with dust flying everywhere while keeping my car on the road. I say miraculously because there's no possible way I could have made that corner at the speed I was going. Even in my high state, there was no refuting the fact that God saved me, and for some reason, He kept on saving me. I pondered why as the dust settled all around me, because I really didn't care at that time if I lived or if I died. The anger, the rage, the injustice was boiling fiercely within me, so I continued to mask and numb my pain with drugs and alcohol. I couldn't live inside my own head, my own body. It was way too painful. That is page 5, and we will continue with page 6 next round. Okay, God bless. Bye. It gets better, trust me.